A Giants insider just made a bold prediction for what Joe Schoen and his football team is going to do prior to the trade deadline, and we're going to break it down on today's show. Before we do that, please subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 100,000 subscribers, and we are barely in the lead of our Week 8 sub battle against our rival channel, Philadelphia Eagles Now, hosted by Chase Sr. If you love the Giants, you want to help us get to 100K, but you hate the Eagles, and you want to beat Philly, hit that sub button right now. You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for clicking on today's show. Let's dive into it with the NFL trade deadline just over a week away, November 4th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The trade rumors are going to be a talking point surrounding this football team. We've all heard the wide receiver trade rumors. We've all heard about Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave. Could a move be coming for this team? It seemed like there was some water put on that fire after the loss to the Denver Broncos. But with a win this Sunday against the Eagles, I think it could change like that. Charlotte Carroll, who does an awesome job covering the Giants for The Athletic, she was a part of The Athletic putting out an article where they pretty much heard from every single beat reporter, and she said that she thinks the Giants are going to stand pat, not make a move at the NFL trade deadline. She wrote this, quote, "The Giants went into a Week 7 matchup with the Broncos with plenty of buzz about trading for a top receiver. A big win in Denver would have only increased that chatter. But the Giants dropped to 2-5 after blowing a 19-point lead in the fourth quarter in a wild 33-32 loss. Offensively, it wasn't all bad, and rookie Jaxson Dart found his tight ends for plenty of help. We don't know yet if the Giants will watch the trade deadline craze from afar or if the loss will prompt selling considerations. But they were at least competitive until the end. And that comes on the heels of Diana Russini reporting last week, despite the loss of Malik Nabers, the Giants aren't aggressively working the phones to add talent at receiver right now. And that came before we heard this from Jeremy Fowler saying the Giants come to mind here for a wide receiver trade. They could use help for Jaxson Dart, but multiple teams I've spoken to believe the Giants would prefer to keep their draft picks as a team still in transition. There's always a surprise team lurking, and perhaps the Giants end up being that. So The Athletic is telling us they don't think the Giants are going to make a trade. Jeremy Fowler says the Giants aren't willing to sacrifice future draft capital as they are continuing to really rebuild this franchise from the bottom up. And yeah, but he did say they could be a surprise trade candidate or a surprise team to make a trade. Look, a lot of things can change from now until November 4th. I'll just say this. I don't think Joe Schoen is going to force a trade. He is someone that I thought has done relatively well when it comes to making trades. I mean, look at the Brian Burns trade. I think you got to give that one an A+. There's been others that have worked and others that have not. And even when he has made trades that maybe we weren't the most happy with, getting a second-round pick back for Leonard Williams was awesome, even though he has been awesome for Seattle. You look at the Isaiah Simmons trade, didn't really work all that much. Boogie Basham didn't work all that much. The trade for Darren Waller didn't work out. But you did get a third and a sixth pick back for Kadarius Toney. He's made a lot of trades. Some have worked, some have not. I have gotten the feeling, though, he's not going to force a trade. He didn't do it back in 2022 when they needed a receiver to help Daniel Jones. If one's available for the right price, he could do it. And let's see how the wide receivers look this Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. You're getting Darius Slayton back. If he plays up to his price point, which is $12 million, that could maybe make the Giants feel comfortable not making a move. Now, if Darius Slayton goes out there and he struggles and Wan'Dale Robinson doesn't have the best game and you don't get anything from Jalen Hyatt or Lord Jordan Humphrey doesn't do anything or Ray McLeod, who could potentially come off the practice squad, doesn't do something, then Joe Schoen could maybe look to make a trade. So let's see what the wide receivers do on Sunday. Let's see how they play against the Philadelphia Eagles secondary. It's going to have Quinyon Mitchell. They'll have Cooper DeJean. They won't have Adoree Jackson. Keely Ringo will be out there. He's not all that good of a player, so let's see how they play. And whether a trade is made before the trade deadline or not, this position group needs to be addressed at some point before next season. Whether that's an early pick in the NFL draft, whether that's spending money on a free agent receiver, whether that's making a trade for a wide receiver in the offseason. Malik Nabers is coming back from a serious injury. He hasn't even had surgery on his torn ACL due to the swelling. Who knows if he's going to be ready for week 1? And the Giants can't go into next year with Darius Slayton being wide receiver 2. Also, Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be a free agent. So whether you go out and trade for an Olave, whether you're able to swing big for a Jalen Waddle or not, the Giants have to address the wide receiver position at some point in a major way before we kick off next season. They have to. Make sure you are supporting your rookie quarterback. Chatsports.com/Dart. Chatsports.com/Dart. Get your Jaxson Dart jersey today. They're almost sold out, so get it now. Chatsports.com/Dart. I wanted to talk about ESPN's article where they highlighted the top 25 trade candidates heading into the November 4th deadline. Let's start with it. Number 1 on their list, Trey Hendrickson, the edge rusher for the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think the New York Giants are looking to trade for an edge rusher, but I have heard the Eagles could be interested. You could see a team inside the division, maybe the Dallas Cowboys make a trade for that. We'll continue to monitor that one. Jalen Waddle is a name that has been linked to the Giants. There was a report from Connor Hughes of SNY that the Giants want to go big game hunting. He seems like the biggest name on the wide receiver trade market. It would be really cool if he being Joe Shane, could pull off a trade for Waddle. Breece Hall, running back for the Jets. I don't think the Giants are interested. Riq Woolen could be somebody the Giants are interested in, especially if the Paulson Adebo injury continues to stretch out over time. Deonte Banks and maybe a pick for Riq Woolen, I think, is potentially on the table. Jacoby Myers is a name that we've talked about a lot. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. I don't think you trade for Myers unless you have a plan to keep him here long term. I like Myers. I'm looking to fry a bigger fish, though, into the future as the wide receiver 2 next to Malik. Mark Andrews, not really all that interested in a trade for him. I like what the Giants have at tight end. Olave is someone that I like. I think he's a good wide receiver, too. What's the price point? Are you able to agree to an extension? We'll continue to monitor that one. For Jalen Phillips, Alontae Taylor could be someone. Again, I don't think Giants are trading for an edge rusher. Alontae Taylor can play in the slot. He's a physical player. And for Jermaine Johnson, I don't think the Giants would make that trade. Logan Wilson is someone that I would not mind the Giants making a trade for. They're a little bit thin at that inside linebacker spot. I think Darius Muasau has played well, but overall the Giants' inside linebackers, they have not been that great against the run. Michael Carter, a name to monitor at corner potentially. Arden Key, not so much. Roger McCreary, maybe. Kongwu, I don't know about that one. Neither am I of the belief that they would make a trade for Arnold Ebiketie. Braxton Jones? No, I don't think so. Kingsley Enagbari? Not really. Russell Wilson. Can the Giants find a way to get anything for Russ? I would be in favor of that. Cam Taylor-Britt, a corner. Maybe like a late day 2 pick, maybe a day 3 pick to get it done. Kirk Cousins, no way, no how. Kyle Duggar, got a large cap hit, I doubt it. Jerome Ford, a running back, no. Christian Harris is someone that I liked coming out of college, an extremely athletic inside linebacker. You could extend him as I think he's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, something to monitor. And then Evan Neal, the offensive tackle / guard for the Giants. He is once again named as a trade candidate. We've got over 23 players from other teams, with 2 players on the Giants being a part of that 25. Name a player you want the Giants to trade for down in the comments section. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, @MarshallGreen_.